Item 15 is the Woodman Sports and Convention Center update, and our Public Works Director, Mike Payne, is here to give us that update.
Good evening, Council. Mike Payne, Public Works Director. So with regards to the emerald ash borer and ash trees in Janesville, the chief is correct. We're not seeing many of those orange painted circles with a line through them anymore. When ash trees die, they become very brittle, and so when they go down, they tend to shatter, and they're just extremely messy, and that's dangerous for us in the right-of-way and on public property. So the city was very proactive years ago, kind of on the front edge of ash borer coming through, and in identifying those trees that were starting to die. The sign is typically the center of the canopy starts to die, but the rest of the tree looks fairly healthy. And then, of course, you can see those D-shaped entry points where the ash borer is entering into the bark. So we were very proactive. As part of that, we identified ash trees on public property, whether that's in parks and publicly owned spaces, as well as the public right-of-way. And because we were so proactive early on, we're very well positioned at this point in time. So
Thank you.
we're in good shape. Thank you. All right, now for the Woodman's Sports and Convention Center update. I just have 2 slides basically this evening. So on May 1st is our next major milestone for the project. That's a week from tonight. The Plan Commission will be holding a public hearing as part of the conditional use permit for the project. The meeting will be held here in council chambers. That meeting will start at 6 o'clock and it is open to the public. We expect 90% plans in early to mid-May, so we're getting very, very close to being where we hoped to be. And then what'll happen is we will be moving in June to a quality control review by the design team, where everybody that's been part of that process, all of the different design groups working on the project will essentially be checking others' work and trying to identify any conflicts and resolving that and working through that before final plans are prepared and the project goes out to bid. Concurrently with that process, the city will be engaging with our plan review vendor, which is E-Plan Review, and they will be doing a complete and comprehensive review of the plans for the building and site plan as well as we move forward. And then I had mentioned at our last meeting that we were positioned and intended to close on the property in June. Rockstep has recently asked us if we can slide that closing date back a little bit. And the city's preference remains to try and close in June, but that's a new ask by Rockstep, and so we're going to be working through that issue. We don't expect that to be a problem for this project. Then in July, we intend to issue the bid documents to the general contractors. So we're intending to hire a single prime contractor who will subcontract all required elements of the project, and the city would be entertaining a construction contract with one single prime contractor. In August, we would expect to open bids from those general contractors, and then in September, we would be coming back, currently scheduled for the September 11th City Council meeting. We would be asking the council to move forward and enter into an agreement with the lowest responsible bidder for this project. If that happens, we believe that the successful contractor, would start mobilizing for this project probably in late September and likely start the demolition process of the former Sears building sometime in October. So with that, you've seen a couple of websites with information. The top link is the city's website link, and the lower link is the Friends of the Woodman Center. So lots of good information, frequently asked questions, project updates, revised renderings, things like that for the public to be able to go and explore and learn about the project. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions, Councilor Williams?
Does anybody have an update on the $15 million from the state, when we would get a final yes or no on that?
August.
August?
Right, is that correct?
Pardon me?
August?
Yes, August. So nothing has changed from my perspective. And what we've previously presented to the council is we expect that the final decision likely occurs in August as part of the building commission meeting that would happen at the state fair.
Okay, so we find out first from the state a yes or a no before we open bids?
Before we award a contract.
So we still could open the bids, just not award the contract?
We can. So we have our standard provision for Public Works bids is for contractors to hold their price for 45 days. And we expect to follow that protocol for this project as well.
Okay. And the mall said they wanted to close later or sooner?
They wanted to close later.
Do you know
So
how much later they wanted to close?
I do not know how much later. I just know that owning a mall and having very complicated lease arrangements with big box retailers is complicated. And so they're trying to work through some things, and they've just made an ask to the city if it's possible to
Well, there's
extend that.
Nobody renting that space.
I understand there's
Yeah.
nobody renting that space, but it's part of the, it's a complicated issue from what I'm told. And
Okay.
so,
That's all.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mike.
thank you.